Hey guys, it's Jen here. Welcome to my vlog at www.jennifermele.com. I'm so happy to have you here. I am an inspirational mentor and teacher. I am a digital course creator, and I am also an abstract painter. And I would love to share a little bit more today with you about what to do when you keep focusing on the worst case scenario. So this is a big one. I can totally relate to it. I grew up extremely anxious, a lot of anxiety. My brain was wired and fearful to focus on the worst case scenario. So there is no one singular tip to help with this. At least for me personally in my journey, it's taken, many different things, but I wanted to share a few of them with you today so that it could help ease your mind a little bit. So first and foremost, the first tip is to understand biology and the biology of the human brain. So our brains are actually wired to look for danger. So if you didn't know this, it can be validating and helpful because you can see you're not crazy, that this is actually what our minds tend to do, is that they are wired for survival. And so if you think about how this worked back in the day, the faraway day when we used to be hunters and gatherers and we're having to protect ourselves a lot more from the elements and from predators and from disease and, not knowing what food was poisonous or not, we really needed a strong detective system in order to determine what was good and what was bad, what was dangerous, safe, and vice versa. And so now that we live in a civilization today where we don't all have to worry about some of those basic needs being met. There are some people that still do, but if we're speaking about people who, are in cultures now where most basic needs are being met to a certain extent, then the brain is just still kind of wired to kind of look for what's going wrong, that default. So that's one piece of it, is biology. The second piece of it is that because we still live in a world where there isn't as much understanding, discussion, and awareness about the brain and the mind and how it works, is that there's been a lot of this chatter that's perpetuated itself for generations and generations. So we as babies and as children are sponges, and we absorb everything that is around us. And so if the majority of our environment is fear-based, and fear-based, you can have grown up in a, extreme, maybe even not so extreme scenario, because it's pretty common, but where we're talking about actual like anxiety and depressive disorders, then of course your brain as a child can be wired towards that. But if we even just look at beliefs that are in our culture, if we look at the media and this idea that we have to look a certain way in order to be accepted and loved, or if we have to have a certain income to get a certain level of health care, we're gonna feel not good enough. If we are, looking at the political world and the differences in points of view and the competition and, the fear and the scarcity, and there's, not enough jobs and there's not enough this and not enough that, all of this is filtering into our brain and our psyche. And so that is another reason why our baseline may be to go towards the worst case scenario, because the chatter is extremely common to do that. So these are two ways that we can help to validate ourselves. And the reason why we want to do that is that the more compassion we have for ourselves and why we have the thinking that we do, that is the thing that releases it. So we think that we have to fix our thoughts and fix and find a solution for our negative thinking. But the reality is we just have to have compassion for it, notice it non-judgmentally, and it's going to naturally shift and clear up the space within you that is going to bring more of that self energy, that joyful energy, that peaceful energy to you and your life experiences. So I hope that this helped today. I'd love to hear your comments or questions about this. And if you've liked this video, please share it with someone who may be in need, because we know that it can be real crazy town when all we can think of is, that worst case scenario alarms going off. So we could all use the support and help. I hope you have a great day, and I will chat with you soon. And if you would like to find out more about me or explore more of my work, you can find me again at jennifermele.com and also on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook at jenmeleart. Thanks, guys. Bye.